Hi, hello, namaskara ellarigu. Welcome back to our channel. Today we are talking about Iceland and how to do Iceland trip on a budget. Iceland is a very beautiful European country and it was the number one country that we wanted to visit. So we planned this entire trip for Satish's birthday and it turned out to be amazing trip and it is one of the best trips of our lives. Once we returned from Iceland, there was a lot of questions from family or friends asking like how to go to Iceland, what's the budget, how did you guys book a car, what places did you visit, visa, and so on. So many other questions. So in fact, we are still getting the same questions. So I thought I'll do a detailed video about how to plan an Iceland trip. I really hope this video helps you in planning the trip. If you do like this video, please do subscribe to our channel and follow us for more such informative and travel videos. So let's get started. So I'm going to divide this video into 8 parts. First thing we're going to talk about is when to visit Iceland. So you have two options, either plan a summer trip or a winter trip. In summer you will have an opportunity to see the midnight sun and have more long hours to explore the whole country. And if you're looking for doing a northern lights view, so definitely go in winter season. So for summer, the best time to visit, I would say, is probably from June to August, where the weather is mild, the wind is pleasant, and the whole country is so beautiful. But also remember, this is a peak season for Iceland. And if you're planning for winter, I would highly recommend going between December to January. So we spoke about when to visit Iceland. So now let's talk about how many days you need to visit Iceland. So there are two types of trips people usually do. One is a golden circle, which is a very shorter trip and which can approximately take 4 to 5 days to cover that golden circle. So golden circle has the majority of all the epic places to see, and if you're like us, more adventurous and wanted to explore the whole country, you can do a full ring road trip. It approximately take 10 to 12 days to do it very comfortably and not being exhausted, but I would definitely say it's worth it. My suggestion for you guys, if you're visiting Iceland for the first time, do a full ring road trip because it is amazing. You have already traveled 14 plus hours, spent so much money on visa, and a little more days and a little extra budget can cover the entire Iceland, and trust me, it's gonna be an epic round trip. Next, I'll be talking about booking flights. Reykjavik is the capital of Iceland and that's where majority of the airlines land. If you're considering a summer trip and probably between a June and August, then I would say a round trip would cost around 95,000 Indian rupees. Highly suggest to do a flight booking at least 4 to 6 months before your day of travel because the flight gets very expensive. But if you get any steal deal from your city less than 95k, just go for it. Don't even think about it. Next, let's talk about accommodations. Iceland is one of the very expensive European country and obviously the accommodation is very expensive. Usually a decent hotel or a hostel with breakfast for a night would cost around 100 to 150 euros. And if you're looking forward to do a luxury hotels, and that would cost approximately 400 to 800 and upwards. But wait for my next segment where I discuss about how to do accommodations on budget. Anyways, I'll leave the link below for all the accommodation that we stayed in, and if you like it, you go ahead and book it. My next segment is about the transportation. So you have two options. One is booking a tour with a travel company or renting a car or a camper van for your road trip. I highly recommend either renting a car or a camper van for a round trip if you're doing golden circle or if you're doing round trip, because you will love driving in Iceland. You get to spend as much as time possible in the places that you want to visit for taking pictures or just simply enjoy the beautiful nature. And trust me, after this trip, you will tell me that taking the car is the best bet. Since we are talking about the rental car, so I'll give you more details about the how to rent a car or a camper van in Iceland. Renting a car or camper van in Iceland is very simple. So I'll leave a link below in the description so you guys can go ahead and book it. Or if you find any legit website and found a steal deal for transportation, go ahead and book it. In the last segment, I spoke about doing accommodations on budget. Here is a trick you can do to save tons of money. You can rent a camper van. Camper van comes with a bed, a small kitchen and a dining table. So if you're just a couple or two people who are traveling, then take a smaller camper van, and if you're like 4 to 6 people traveling, then you can prefer to have a little bigger camper van for your trip. The next question is where to park and where to rest in the night, and is it safe? Iceland is a very safe country and it has a good campsite all over the Iceland. And it is pretty well maintained with kitchen, showers, and some campsites even have washing machines. The best part we feel about the camper van is the flexibility, especially during summer and you're experiencing midnight sun and you would like to spend more time in that particular place and enjoy the views, then you need not worry about it and you just can camp right in front of the place and still enjoy the views all night. So the campsite would cost around 30 to 50 euros. When you compare with hotels which cost you like around 100 to 150 euros per night, I think this is the best bet. Next time if we are going to Iceland again, I think we would definitely prefer the camper van. The next segment of this video is about activities that you can do in Iceland. There are so many things that you can do in Iceland, and again it's totally up to you. If you're on a tighter budget and just want to do a road trip, you can do it. Here are a few amazing things that you can do in Iceland. First one is a glacier hike. Second is a Blue Lagoon whale tours. And if you're going in a winter to Iceland, you can do a Northern Lights tour. And the last one that I would suggest is snorkeling between the tectonic plates. It's quite unique. Now, let's talk about the most important part of this video, the visa. Indians needs to apply for Schengen Visa. I have dropped the website link where you can go ahead and create your account and fill in your application there. Once you fill in your application, take all the requested documents and book an appointment with VFS Global and go ahead and submit your documents along with your passport. They will take your application and then biometrics and as well as your passport. So you expect not to have your passport for the length of time they take to process your application. And I would highly suggest apply at least 2 months before your trip. And then approximately wait 15 to 30 days. If you're approved, you should receive a Schengen Visa stamped on your passport. Yay! Now you know how to plan a trip to Iceland. Let's talk about the budget. So as we discussed, the flight would cost around 90,000 Indian rupees for a round trip. Second, your visa would approximately cost 10,000 Indian rupees per person. Next is accommodation, would cost around 100 to 115 euros for a budget hotels or hostels that if you want to stay. Or if you're on a tighter budget, you can take a camper van and stay in the campsites, which would cost around 30 to 50 euros per night. Renting a car or camper van would cost around 100 euros per night. For example, like we did an 8 days round trip and it would cost around 80,000. So that's approximately 10,000 rupees per day for the trip. Food, I would say for us as a couple that we budgeted 100 euros per day and it was quite comfortable for us. If you have taken a camper van and want to save some money on food, you can actually go to a grocery store, buy groceries and actually cook. You can save a lot of money on food. Next is activities. So we did 2 activities. That is, one is a glacier hike, which approximately costed us 13,500 Indian rupees, and Blue Lagoon, which is costed approximately 5,500 to 6,000 rupees. And the lastly, souvenirs and gifts that you want to take to your family, friends, and it's up to you how much you want to pay and what you want to pick. Don't be hesitated looking at the cost. Visiting Iceland is worth it, every penny. Here we are the last segment of this video, that is travel tips. Number 1, book a camper van instead of a car so you can save money on accommodation as well as food. Number 2, head to a grocery store called Bonus and take some snacks and fruits in the main cities before go on a road trip. Number 3, get a SIM card in a grocery store instead of an airport, and 10 GB of data with your SIM card is more than enough. Number 4, wear weather comfort clothes even during summer. Get your raincoat, get your boots, and do not forget without those. Number 5, instead of taking an additional car insurance, use your credit card which comes with the car insurance. And finally, we are concluding this video. I hope this video is helpful for all of you who are planning this trip to Iceland. If you do so, please do like, subscribe to our channel and keep supporting us like this. Thank you and see you again next time.